Hello everyone, welcome to week 2. Congratulations getting through week 1. Majority of you by now have gotten your discussion board all taken care of, situated for the class, so again, congratulations to you. Now let's give you an overview for week 2. Week 1 was about looking at some initial concepts of leadership, establishing what that foundation is. Week 2 is really getting into the different theories that make up leadership. So your reading this week will be a focus on those different theories, as well as looking at 2 video clips to work on assignment number 2. So I'm going to walk you through the week. A reminder here, as you're seeing on the screen, this week 2, all I had to do was click right here in the Blackboard Connect onto week 2. It takes you to this. So again, you're seeing here in the topics, leadership theories, servant leadership, transformational leadership, transactional leadership, distributive leadership, and synergistic leadership. So those are the true 5 components of the different theories that we'll be looking at this week. You can see the learning outcomes, looking at what models are out there, and describe how effective leaders establish and communicate a vision for instruction and transformational school leadership. Here you're going to see my link once this video is done for the week, but you also get an announcement depending on how you've accessed. Either way, gets you to the same thing that you're watching now. So the reading for the week. So we're back into the green text. You've read chapters 1 and 2 in week 1. We get into chapter 3 now for week number 2, and that's the theories and approaches to leadership. So remember to take a look at those case studies afterwards, because they'll give you examples of how that leadership was implemented, or reflection on how it was implemented, and maybe some suggestions, or you can make those suggestions as well. On top of that, you have 2 other sort of not direct articles. They are more academia papers, focusing. Clarkin is developing the spiritual potentiality principles and practice of leadership. So this is what I'm sorry, I went one too far. This is what the Clarkin paper looks like. It's a 10-page paper, a really 9-page paper, including references of what their thoughts of those different aspects of spiritual leadership might look like. So that's the Clarkin paper. The other read is going to be looking at servant leadership. I will tell you that's a hard balance for me because I want to be a servant leader for my staff, but being a servant sometimes means you give up some of your own time, so you want to find that balance. I'm going to apologize. I was scanning through this. I wanted to show you. This one is a longer read. Reality is it's a total of a 35-page document, so I'm sorry for all the scanning. I've been taking back up to this title page. This read you can definitely break up into sections, but I want to encourage you by the end of the week to give it a read. But it's a great reflection on servant leadership and how to blend it. So reminders as you're establishing yourself and wanting to serve others, how do you do that as a leader, but making sure you hold that role to say, let's move and push our organization forward. So that's that servant leadership. I think the other side of that is looking at Christ as another example. He was here on earth, definitely giving us that model. So those are the 3 components of reading for this week. You do have a learning module here, again, on theories. That reminder, the module should take you 20 to 30 minutes. Max, I'm going to say, if you're pausing and really thinking about components, maybe 40 to 45 minutes at the most. So we do have a discussion board for the week, and if you go to the discussion board, it's going to take you to have you view a YouTube on a TED Talk by Sheryl Sandberg. She is connected with Facebook, an executive in Facebook, talking about the reflection of female leaders and the components they have to struggle with to be leaders. And the question for the discussion board after watching it, I'm going to pull it up to that reminder. You can click it here or through discussion board, is after viewing it, I want you to be reflective on what she shares. And what are some of the points that she makes about gender differences in leadership? And do you see any of these in your work or home life? And what are some strategies to prevent them from occurring? So I want you to think about that. For us gentlemen, being reflective of a male-dominated world at times, how are we able to include females into the leadership role? Sometimes the reminders of what a stereotype is that we can try and break as well. Ladies, sharing your journeys is always exciting to understand where you've come from and how you develop yourself as a leader. So that is the week 2 discussion board. A reminder again, your initial discussion board is due Thursday night, where your reply to 2 other individuals is done by Sunday. I do say post your initial post, then come back the next day to do your replies at least, if you're not going to wait till later in the week, like a Saturday or Sunday. So just that reminder for you. Then we get into other elements that are due this week. Your first paper, congratulations, your movie analysis paper is due. So if you click here, it will take you to the movie analysis. You can get here the directions, and that reminder again, this is viewing 2 different movie clips. And to take you back in here, the movie clips are going to be right here. The patent video, which is going to look blank right now, but notice that when you do the plugin or add-on, especially in Google or Firefox, is where you want to be able to view this from. If you hit play, it will start playing for you. Then the Chamberlain video as well, that's embedded here. Going to be honest with you, each video segment is about 17 minutes long as you're watching both. But once you've viewed both of those, I'm going to move up here to remind you, click the directions, and the directions come up. You will watch the 2 videos, the leadership style patent from the 1970 movie and the leadership style of Colonel Lawrence Chamberlain in Gettysburg. Once you've watched the videos, you're going to analyze some of the transactional leadership skills of Patton and the transformational leadership skills of Chamberlain. So it's a 3 to 4 page paper. I'm going to verbally say this. I might have said it last time as well. Please know that's 3 to 4 pages of content. That is not counting your title page or your reference page, but you're going to look and identify the leadership styles depicted in each of the video clips. You're going to give that compare and contrast of the efforts made by the video leaders to develop a shared vision, working relationship, and enlist others in the effort before them. I need you to make a relevant application to the strengths of the leadership in either one of these leadership styles in your classroom today. So know that's going to be a different section being reflective about you. And then in addition, please describe your thoughts about the benefits or disadvantages of adopting either transformational or transactional leadership styles. And then cite your information, whether it's taken from the movie or something that we've read, particularly the green textbook. Please make sure you're citing it and referencing it appropriately, and know that it needs to be an APA manual. Then you're going to see here's the rubric that has each pretty much sections thinking about the paper. Again, our goal is always to get that 4. So with that reminder here, and I'm going to take you out of this descriptor. I'm going back into Blackboard, and I'm going to go to the APA resource, because remember the APA resource, the top option for you is the writing template for formatting your graduate papers. This is how your paper needs to be formatted with the support of APA, but that reminder, they give you a lot of that information in the paper that you will just type over. Remember that you are going to make a copy of the paper, and then here in running head, you're going to leave running head with that colon, but this all caps right here in 50 characters, including spaces, state the title. Then you're going to scroll down here where it says title of your paper, highlight it and give the title of your paper, and just follow those suggestions, typing and doing. Something I need to note for you is sometimes thinking about a paper, you think that it all has to flow, but sometimes a rubric says, I want you to focus here, I want you to focus there. Notice that you can give headings to your papers saying, hey, I'm going to break this paper up. So notice the paper always starts with the title of the paper, gives that introduction, then here's level 1 heading. I'm going to talk about transactional leadership. Here's a level 2 heading. You can just follow those headings, read that information, but know you can break your paper up with a heading. Don't feel like you have to write this narrative piece that goes all the way through. We want consistent understanding. That's where these headers will break it up, telling me, here's the next focus point. So something to think about in writing your paper. If you want to, remember you can use Grammarly or try and make a appointment to submit your paper if you've already started to work on it. I would say no later than Wednesday with the writing studio, so that way they can look over your paper knowing that it is due. That reminder again that your paper is due this coming Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So I think I've given you the overview for the week. The reminder, look at I-8 certification. That is this signing on and doing this course, the Protecting Human Research Participants course. That is not due this week, it is due next week, but it is more of a video course. You have to log in, answer some questions as you go along to get the certificate that you will upload. And then the library orientation, just a reminder, library orientation is not scheduled till September 17th. So this assignment has been moved back and not due, like it said, this week for week 2, but later in week 5. I hope that you have a great week. If you have any questions at all, please email, call, or text. God bless.